Cigar Oasis Magna setup. In the box, you'll find the Magna control top and base, the power adapter, USB cable, the remote, and a set of auxiliary fans. We'll connect the unit in a moment. I first want to show you how to properly fill up the water base. These two slats on either side open up very easily. Take the control top off, and you'll notice this little bag of water beads. These beads, while extremely small now, grow and will fill the entire water base. We'll pour them in. Sometimes they grow slightly more than others, but for the first time you'll empty the entire bag, and if you need to take out some later, you'll do so. When filling up the water, you want to use the water base. You want to use just distilled water. Distilled water is really inexpensive and easy to find at your local pharmacy for about $1 or $2 a gallon. When we fill up, we're not going to go all the way. We're going to go just halfway because the beads grow. And even when they grow, we want to have them only 3/4 the way. So it takes about 24 hours for the beads to fully expand. So don't worry if it's only halfway. This is something I did yesterday. I filled it up halfway, and it's now 3/4 because the beads expand significantly. You don't want it higher than 3/4 or 1.5 inches from the top, because the beads could get stuck into the control top and the airflow could be affected. So we want to fill it up only halfway, just like this. That's about it. You let this sit. You could, if you're careful, place this in the humidor and attach the control top, but don't attach this and then walk over the humidor together, because if you do that, chances are you're going to get water splashing up into the control top. So if you're going to attach it with loose water, be sure to hold it and take it over there separately and attach it once inside the cabinet. Let's put this aside. And without even using the water base or using this water base, I'll show you how to connect the power. Put the slats back on. Okay, so we have our power adapter. Plug the USB into the power adapter, and we'll plug it into the wall. Over here, on my left, we'll plug in the micro USB end. You'll see the green light go on, but until the remote is attached, the unit will not power up. Now, the former model was the 2XL, and on there, the 2XL, the remote was on the unit, and the sensor was on the unit, and the remote was just for control. The sensor is now on the remote. So without the remote attached, the unit does nothing. Attach the remote with this Ethernet style cable. You'll see the C3.3 symbol, power up. at first, take a couple seconds, and the first thing you'll see is the current humidity reading in the room. Comes preset to 70. Humidity's quite high today, it's a summer day. But as soon as it detects it's below 70, the fans will power up. Let's go through the settings real quick. Pressing the sun button once will show us the temperature. You can change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius using the up or down arrow buttons. Pressing it again will give the humidity averages over the last 3 days. Pressing it a third time will give you the lowest humidity reading over the last 3 days. A fourth time will show you the highest read over the last 3 days. And pressing it a fifth time will give you the words AF, the letters AFL, which stand for auxiliary fan low. And pressing it down will change to auxiliary fan H for auxiliary fans high. So I'll get to how you attach the auxiliary fans in a moment. I would suggest try it on high. If you have a smaller cabinet and 10 to 20 cubic feet, you could leave it on low. Entirely your own preference. Before we get to the auxiliary fans, I just want to show you a bit of how this operates. There are 3 fans on this side, and then there's a fan on the inside, and I don't want to lift it and get water into the control top, but I'll take this control top off the base to show you better how this works. Just going to take the power out so I can show you clearer. You have the 3 fans here, and here you have the 2 flaps. These 2 clear plastic flaps open up whenever the fan is in motion, blowing out the humidity. The reason for the flaps is so that when the fans are not on, when the unit is at the desired level, the unit is sealed and there's no humidity being leaked out passively. However, if you're running this in a larger cabinet, chances are the unit's going to be constantly running and the flaps are not really necessary. So it's your preference if you want to keep them on or off. I would say if you're in extremely dry climate where the unit would probably be running non-stop, you might as well take them off. If you're a bit in a higher humidity environment and it's a smaller cabinet, leave them on. Attaching the auxiliary fans. Let's plug this unit back in. The auxiliary fans are only designed to turn on once the unit reaches its set point. So long as the unit's on and it's not at the desired set point, the auxiliary fans will be off. Once the unit reaches a set point, they will turn on. I'll show you just how that's done. So we attach the remote and the power. The auxiliary fan kit is plugged into the remote, like this. Now be careful because these are unprotected and if you put your finger there it can hurt. These are strong HD fans. And again, now the unit reaches the set point, you see the fans that just turned on. The ideal way to position these fans are at a 45-degree angle in the cabinet. That means if you have the unit on the bottom, you want to position the fans somewhere on the top, one at the top, one at the bottom, pointing inward at a 45-degree angle. And that way it can circulate the humidity round and round. You can get a little 3M double-sided Velcro to fasten these to either the wall of the humidor or one of the shelves. So you can see that now that the unit has reached the set point, the fans are on, and again, once the unit requires more humidity, the fans will turn off. That is how you attach the auxiliary fans. For placement of the Magna, I'm just going to take these off. Placement of the Magna in the cabinet. Preferably, it would be best to position the Magna somewhere in the middle. Most cigar humidor cabinets are designed with slanted shelves and 2 shelves on the bottom for storage and humidifier placement. So if you have those 2 shelves, definitely use the top one. And the most important thing is to position it in such a way that there's at least 2 inches of space from where the fans are to the wall for the ear to travel up. And on those 2 inches, keep those 2 inches completely clear for the entire length of the back of the humidor so that the ear can travel up with ease. Keep that space clear of any boxes, and keep checking up, making sure, it's going to take a couple different variations of positioning until you find that perfect setup. So I wouldn't be too concerned if it's not consistently at 70. You got to play around with it to get it just right. And of course, if it's in a retail environment and you're opening up the cabinet rather often, you may not see it at 70 the entire time, but after you have it closed for enough time, it will recoup the humidity. If these auxiliary fan kits are not strong enough, you're more than welcome and encouraged to go out and purchase a traditional clip-on fan that can be either battery or power operated. But for most cabinets under 60 cubic feet in a relatively normal environment where the cabinet is not left open for long periods of time, just the Magna and the auxiliary fan kits should suffice, assuming you position it correctly. And, of course, that you're refilling it in a timely manner. A word on refilling the unit: you don't want to wait until it's completely dry. You want to make it a matter of routine to fill it up, depending on, of course, where you're located and the necessity there. But don't wait till it's dry. The unit is designed so that if it doesn't reach the set point after 2 hours, it will give you a low H2O reading. You can refer to the Magna refill instruction video for more on that. Thanks for watching.